Hey, everybody. Nice to see you. Just jumping in here with my good friend, Patty Lennon, who also participated in Front Row CEO. So, as most of you guys know, the cart is closing tonight, and I'm bringing in all sorts of people impromptu at the last minute. Patty was such a good sport. I'm like, come and chat with me. And she's like, I would love to. So we're just going to have a chat because, I can answer your questions all day long, but I'm a wee bit biased, right? Like I am a wee bit biased. I mean, I'm giving it to you straight, but like, obviously I like this course a lot. And so I want you to join this course, but I think it helps to hear from people who have actually gone through the course. And you can throw your questions at Patty. Hello, Chapin, South Carolina. I know it well. I am a South Carolinian myself. So yeah, I think it's like you throw your questions at Patty. We're gonna let Patty answer them, and we'll be doing this throughout the day. So I want to start. Well, first of all, let me introduce Patty. Patty is. Oh, I don't have your formal bio thing in front of me because we just jumped on this.
Nobody wants to listen to my bio if they're considering joining Front Row CEO. They want to know, does this matter? Right?
Well, but people do want to know, like, what kind of people are joining. From what kind of businesses do they have, and hopefully, I'll have a lot of people to come on today to show just how broadly you can apply this to just even brick and mortar, to pet stores, to private investigators, to course creators, coaches, intuitives, those last three, all of which Patty is. Patty has a wonderful program called Receiving School. She used to be a big shot corporate banker. And then she also has she's a psychologist. And then she ended up being like, no. What I really want to do is just help people tap into their best selves. And interrupt me at any time, Patty, but she shows people how to understand their own intuitive gifts. Is that correct? And all I know is Patty helps me so much all the time because I think she is so good with words. She's just, you'll see, she's a great communicator. And she also is an author and a coach. Did I already say that? So just,
So just for if you're listening, basically I have a service-based business. I play in the metaphysical space. I like money. I like to make money. I like structure. How's that?
Why didn't I just hand the mic to you to begin with? See what I mean? Good with the words. Okay. So let's just get to the questions. First question. And I addressed this in a live stream yesterday. And it's unusual. I have not gotten this question, as much. And if you think about it, I've never gotten this question as much as I've gotten it recently. And now that I think about it, it's odd that I'm getting it now when we've been in this COVID lockdown for so long and we all had more time on our hands. Well, so many people had a lot of time on their hands. But the question is, what is the time commitment of this program?
Oh, such a good question. Yeah, it is interesting that people are time concerned at this point, but it does make sense on a different level, like a psychological level. But I'll answer the question first. So the time commitment is interesting in that the extra time that you need for this course isn't significant. It's you have a time alchemy that happens inside the course. So basically what Jen helps you do is take something you're doing and then do it differently. So you might be spending a half an hour on this piece of the course, but it's doing something you would have spent 45 minutes doing already. So it's not that you're adding extra time, it's that she's changing the way you use your time. So if you're talking about, can I do what I'm doing and then add this course to it, then you're talking about basically the listening to the modules and then showing up for the calls, which I highly recommend because I'm taking the course live again and it's so that I could be on the live calls. So I would say that time commitment is what, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours additional a week.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That seems to be the consensus. I asked several other people yesterday as well. And
but can I jump in? Actually, I'm
yes,
going to cut you off for a second. The thing is, I talk about this with my own people that I used to teach people how to hire. and I now promote Jen. And the reason is she's better at it than I am. Like, I'm good at it. She's great at it. And so the reason I talk about that is the skills that you're going to learn, even for me, who hired all the time, who ran teams of 50, I'm taking this course because Jen has this unique way to laser focus you. So if you're the type of person that gets distracted, even if you normally don't, but COVID's made you this person, and you're like, you don't know if you're getting the crap done that you need to get done, that's really going to amplify what you're doing and move you forward. That's the real genius here. So yes, you're going to have to invest those 2 hours a week. You're going to have to do some things differently, but then the long-term time savings, like, you are running straight into a brick wall if you don't change the way you're doing things. And if the idea of leveraging your time, of having help, of doing, of getting support, bolstering your business, it's critical to your business, and you're not 100% sure that you're doing it well or know how to do it, then you can't really factor in those 2 hours, because you could keep those 2 hours to yourself, not take this program, and you're going to be a hot mess in 3 months because the world is changing, and you got to figure this out for yourself. Is this course on a different platform? Do you want to go ahead and answer that, or you want me to say my?
Yeah, well, either. The course is on Kajabi. So no, in fact, I've signed up for a course not too long ago and never thought to ask this question. And her whole course was in a Facebook group, and it was like, I cannot do that. It was like such a nightmare headache, even though I love this person and her content is great. I just can't go there. So no, you don't have to be on Facebook at all to participate in this program. And the live calls happen in Zoom. So our board meetings, we have 4 of those, and they're very well structured. So you submit your questions in advance, and then I have time to really give some thought to giving you a thoughtful answer. And then by the time you show up, not that we don't take calls questions from everybody who's there, but it's nice to show up with some questions in advance that we have answers that are well thought out for you. And if you don't show up, if you're not able to make it, like I just got off a call with someone in Australia, then what we do is send you the replay, and you get a link to your question, or a timestamp to your exact question and answer. And yeah, Lynn says Facebook groups are killing her, not just ours, but in general. We understand. And Patty, I love what you said, because the bottom line is, like, you're going to end up in the black when you're talking about time and money with this program. So you kind of got to stick your head down and work through it. But it's all templated in terms of, like, that was the whole point. It's like, it's because the people coming into this course are the most pressed for time, because that is why you were joining the course, that I had to make sure that this was not going to suck all of the time out of your day. And I had to make it as turnkey as possible. So we did that from the beta. And then we have just made it, we have really, honed in and made it even more so. So every single video is like 5 minutes long. They're very short, so the content itself is easy to get through. And then every exercise underneath is very direct. It's not like you have to reinvent any kind of wheel. You literally are going to copy and paste stuff. So you're going to watch, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, done. Show up for the call. But a lot of things are variable, because if you end up with, 100 applicants, and it could happen, it's not going to take exponentially longer than someone actually that has 10 applicants, but it's going to take a little bit longer, because even in that scenario, we have a way of quickly eliminating in an automated fashion the people who just aren't cut out for you and are not your perfect match VA.
Can I just want to say one more thing too.
Sure.
If you're not familiar with Jen's paid content, like you haven't taken anything with her, and your experiences with other course creators, first of all, this isn't a course. I mean, this really is a program with coach. Like, there's a very robust live element, but when you've watched training, if the person takes 3 minutes to get to the point, and that's sort of the experience you've had where you've had to like trudge through their pontification on whatever they're teaching, that you won't get that with Jen. So she gets right to the point.
Yeah, and we have an 80% completion rate, and which is if you're a course creator, that really is kind of unheard of, because we're all guilty of signing up for programs or courses that we don't get. We have all the best intentions in the world, and then we just don't get to it. But you'll see that you get swept into this program, and I wanted it to work like, a sausage factory, like you come in and you're just things, or like that, assembly line on I Love Lucy, but whatever things. That's not a great example, actually, because that was a very inefficient process.
Well, I was going to say, probably if you've watched that Lucy episode and that's what it feels like your business is running like, right, then Jen's going to be the person that you kept wishing would show up in that episode and show Lucy how to actually use the assembly line. So that's
thank you. Thanks for saving me on that one. Yeah. So, other questions are like, what if I just don't have it together yet? Like, I don't even know where I would start. From your experience in the program, is that addressed? And if so, how?
So yes, it's addressed, and I'll talk to you about how. But before that, I'm going to even tell you the mindset that I'm showing up with tomorrow, which is, so I know this.
Wait, you're running through it again, right?
Right. So, okay. But it's to hire someone different and a different type of person. I actually have been not thinking about it. I've not been thinking about it. I haven't gotten my act together around it. Yeah, I might be a little more pulled together than you, if this is your question, than you are necessarily, but I purposely haven't been worrying about it, because I'm going to show up and in the best possible way, like a robot. Jen's going to tell me, do this, answer this question. I'm going to answer it. Then I can go to the next one, and then I can answer it. And the thing is, that's what most people don't do, even when they know how to do something. So if you sat there and you're like, I know what I should be doing and I'm not doing it, or I don't know what I should be doing, I should go find someone that can tell me. This course, this program, I don't even want to call it a course. This program is really the ideal situation, because you're going to do this bite-sized piece, and then you're going to do this bite-sized piece. And literally, and I've said this about many things about being an entrepreneur, and Jen, hopefully this won't insult you, but I feel it's important to say a monkey could do this. Like, a monkey could run a business. There's one thing a monkey can't do, and it's your essential, each of you, including Jen's, like, what's your unique aspect of your soul, of your being, right? No, a monkey can't do that. But all the wheels and levers a monkey could do. But you have to have the right monkeys in place. You have to know how to be a monkey. You have to, there's, and I say that because years ago, just to give context to this story, is years ago when I was working in corporate banking, one of the first promotions I got was because I went to an attorney who used to have to sign off on my documents, and all of us would bring, I was a contract manager. All of us would bring our contracts to the attorney, and we got the same changes to the contracts. And every time he would sign off on them, and he was like, a monkey could do this. But to him, a monkey could do that because what he meant was, if you know how to follow step by step by step, you can do it, but you have to believe you have the authority to do it. And so if you then understand that this is a process that goes step by step by step, you have to just give yourself the authority to know that you're okay to do this. And that's what this program does.
And what you said you're running through it again to hire a new position. What kind of position are you looking for?
So, there's just, volume of work, basic volume of work in getting more content out to the world is half of it. But that's kind of the type of person I've hired before. But actually going into this virtual learning environment, I realized that the the quantity of communication we get from the school, even before this, was burdensome, but now it's absolutely insane. And then there's managing my kids' Google Classrooms. I don't need someone to help them if they're struggling. I can't manage a daily task of checking to see if they're struggling. And for the most part, they'll tell me, but really there needs to be a daily touch base with their Google Classroom. Just make sure they've done all the assignments. Are they showing up? Are they doing attendance? And so we're going to be bringing on a team member that can really be that almost like a virtual personal assistant around this stuff.
Yeah, I love that you said that, because that isn't a number of the questions that have come in are, yeah, but will a virtual assistant work for this business? Will a virtual assistant work for this scenario? And what I have said is that unless you need a warm body in your office, a virtual assistant can do anything. Yeah. So we're going to take the word virtual and we're going to take it at face value. So that means they're not, well, I guess it means it's not, technically it means that you're not real, but we're going to say virtual in the sense of like what it means in this space, which is online. Okay. Mm-hmm. So if it's something that can be done virtually online, and they are assisting you, they are a virtual assistant assisting you in whatever that might be. And even if your current staff, you have current warm bodies in your office or in your store, there is still so much that a virtual assistant can help you with. So a lot of time people need, so I think that example you gave of helping with on a personal level, which is of course going to help you on a business level. It's just going to help lift some of the weight off of your shoulders. And is something they wouldn't be able to do that. I mean, they're able to do that easily because your kid's online, they're online. So they could easily see all those things and they could tap into the schedule and did they do attendance and all that kind of stuff. So what a wonderful way to get some assistance. And,
hey, yep. Sorry about that. I had an internet break. So I'm sorry if I blinked out for a minute, I switched to my hotspot.
That's what I'm going to call my senior moments. Internet. What did you call it? An internet break?
It's like, why do you hate us, internet gods? Why?
Okay, so Cole said, yes, I was an executive admin before I was a GM. I was so used to being told what I did and did not have the authority to do that I struggled with determining what I wanted or needed the authority to do as a manager, reporting only to absentee owners in my initial rehab contract.
Yeah. And, I think like this program, as you go through it, it will instill in you the authority to be a CEO. And, Jen keeps talking about hiring the VA and the virtual assistant and all that stuff, but I really think there's also a mindset shift that she gives you through the program that's really important. That helps you embody yourself to run your business from that 10,000 foot CEO level. There is going to be this fear that comes up for you of someone can't do it as well as you. That's what you're going to tell yourself. But the reality is that's not it. It's that you're afraid of growing. We all fear our own success. And having the container that Jen creates makes you believe in your success more than you believe in your need to control things.
Yeah, your internet is wonky. You're like blurry, but we heard all that. And that's a very good point. I mean, my sort of take on everything is, do the thing and you will become the thing. And so and I have taken that approach in everything my whole life. I used to be a heavy smoker a long time ago. And I was like, I'm going to be an athlete now. And so I quit smoking and I started running, and an 80-year-old man lapped me. I started this like running clinic where they were going to teach you how to run this 10K race in Charleston, South Carolina called the Cooper River Bridge Run. And I was like, all right, yeah, I'm going to do that. And I'm an athlete now. So I just decided, I didn't believe it, obviously. But I knew that the only way to be it is to do it. So, and this is related actually. And I'll explain in a minute. So I quit. I stopped smoking and on the same day joined the running clinic. And of course I've never touched those nasty things again. And then I did become an athlete and I started doing marathons and stuff like that. And I've done that with so many things in my life all the way up to this point, because I was back to the monkey. I mean, I was monkeying around in my business and, enjoying learning how to use Webinar Jam. To be completely honest, I did enjoy it because that's the kind of thing I like. But then I had to get real and be like, yeah, I want to be like them. And I would look at Amy Porterfield and I would look at all these other people that were creating courses as I was doing. And I was like, yeah, well, I'm not going to get there like this. So I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do, what do I need to do? What is the single thing that will really give me the leverage to get where I need the fastest? Hire someone, because this is not getting me anywhere. And I did. And almost in an instant, my entire business changed and everybody noticed and everybody started messaging me. What did you do? What is going on? Yeah, like, you are, things are really changing in your business and we see it. You've got content everywhere. You created these new courses. You created a podcast. You did all these things. How did you do it? And so then I did this little mini course. It was just a free little mini course, about how I did it, at that time. And of course, this grew out of that because, one day I realized when I was looking at my back end numbers, I was like, this is the most, because I teach marketing, but it was like, this is the most popular thing that I offer, paid or unpaid, this little freebie thing. And so that's how Front Row CEO was born. And as it turns out, it really is my most popular product, because in 3 rounds of doing this, we've had an 80% completion rate and people get really good results. Cole says, to clarify, I eventually moved to consulting for restaurant owners, investors, where I essentially went in and rehabbed the restaurant so they actually made money. That's cool. I was stuck on the idea that I really did need full access, carte blanche, because I was coming from an admin mindset, but needed a CEO mindset. Awesome. It is, I mean, without being corny and cliche, and we all talk about mindset, but it really is all about mindset. It really is. So that's why it became cliche, because it's just true. Some things, take off, and get used over and over again for a reason, right? Because it works. It's like everybody in the marketing world saying no, like, trust. We don't hear that as much anymore. Thank goodness. It did have its time and it's come and gone. But it doesn't change the fact that it's true that people do buy from people that they know, like, and trust. And you can replace those 3 words, as I'm sure someone will or already has. So no matter how you say it, it's still true. And it's still true that it is important, that it is everything, that we're working on our business and not in our business. Also cliche, also very true.
100%. Can you hear me? Am I still like wonky?
No, you're just a little blurry, but sometimes that's not a bad thing. Like I kind of like when I get a filter that's kind of blurry and you can't see not that you have any kind of bags under your eyes, but yeah, Cole says we are our own biggest obstacle. That's for sure. So what else do you want to share about Front Row CEO? Maybe, if someone's on the fence, because parks are closing tonight and they're not going to be opening again until probably February or March. So
if someone's on the fence, I think what I would want you to consider is, are you in an investing mindset or a savings mindset? And this is going to apply more to women than men, but we are raised to have a savings mindset, to resist releasing money at all costs. Men are trained to invest, to put money in and make more money with that investment. And so if that's all that's keeping you, is that you're like, ooh, do I hand over money right now? Is this a safe time to hand over money? Then I'd say, yes, it's an investment that I stand behind. Jen's the only person that I have put my own personal to my own community and said, I stand behind what she puts out in the world. And I've been in this for 10 years. I've never done that with anyone else. So I can tell you it's an investment. If you're like, is this the right time for me because I don't know if I have enough time? 100%. But if you're in this place where you're like, I don't know if I really want this business, I don't know if I have it in me to be an entrepreneur, then I would say, no, it's not the right time for you. But if you know that you're growing your business and you do not know how to do the things that Jen teaches, then this is 100% the best place to learn them at a much lower cost than what it's taught anywhere else at this quality.
Thank you. And I had another question pop up that a lot of people have been asking me, and that is, a lot of people are really nervous that they don't have enough stuff to keep a VA busy. What do you say about that?
She will show you where the stuff is, first of all. Second of all, if you don't have enough stuff to give a VA, you're playing too small. And you'll find the stuff that will create the growth for your business while you're in it. In fact, I mean, I've been around for, it feels like forever. Whenever I'm in groups, I always feel like the oldest person there. But people like me, there's more than just Jen, like me, we'll all help you, tell you what we've given off, what's, what works for us. So even if Jen isn't the one that's got the answer for you, you're going to probably find someone that has enough of a match to your business that will help you. Because I'm not the only legacy person running through this course.
That's such a good point. You're exactly right. And I love what you said, that you're not thinking big enough, because that helps me so much to answer some of the questions that are going to, keep coming in today, because when you see how this works, then you're like, I can do a podcast. I can do a podcast because I don't have to know how to edit the podcast. I don't have to teach the VA how to do that. I don't have to teach the VA how to do anything, because we show you how you don't have to know how to do the thing in order to teach the thing. So possibilities start, like light bulbs start going off. And what happens more often than not is that people will dip their toe in the water and they might say, well, I'm okay with 15 hours a week, 20 hours a week. I'm just going to do that. I'm going to start there. And then they're in the group, 2 weeks later, hiring their second VA for, because they've maxed out the hours on their first VA, and then they're looking for another VA or a specialist, a graphic designer, who they want to have in-house for 20 hours a week or something like that. So that is exactly right, Patty. It's just, if you don't have enough to do, you're just, you aren't thinking big enough, but you will very quickly start thinking big.
Yeah. Yeah. And I will also say to those of you who are like any spiritual alignments, metaphysical alignments, any of that, right now, tonight, we have the full moon that supports this growth. So for those of you who are in, any of my metaphysical sisters and brothers, you can call on Luna right now. You can call on Gaia right now to help you release your fear of growth. This is the perfect time to release the behavior that you've been acting under and become something else. We're right on it. Okay.
That's the kind of content that you're never going to get on Jen Lehner Media or any of my stuff, because I don't know those things, but Patty does. So thank you for that. It's super interesting. I mean, I'm teasing you, but I am serious. That's cool. So Lynn, I have a great example for you. I have to share with you. So Lynn says, when I think about what I need, it's really things I haven't, or I don't do well myself. For example, Pinterest, I've barely done it. You have resources for trainings for things we haven't done ourselves. Yes. So here's the deal. And I'm going to give you the exact example that aligns perfectly with your question. And that is, I wanted to add Pinterest to our business not that long ago. And because Pinterest is awesome, and we all know it drives traffic to our websites. And if you're creating any kind of content, you might as well have it over there and optimized. So what we did was we gave a Pinterest course to one of our VAs and said, well, first, would you like to learn and implement Pinterest? And the answer was yes. And so she learned how to do Pinterest, and she's doing it very, very well. And she came back, and not only did she come back and implement it in our business, but she is creating systems. I teach you how to do that as well. So she's gathering the information, she's creating processes and showing us how this is going to work in our business and documenting it all along the way. Okay, that's part of it. Now we have a system that lives in the business. So if she, gets abducted by aliens or moves to another position, which is more likely within Jen Lehner Media, then she will, that's still going to live inside of our business. So that's why you can really, as long as you have your perfect match VA, doesn't mean it's a VA that knows how to use Kajabi and, WordPress and instant or, Active Campaign. However, not that you're not going to look for those things but what's more important is that they have the ability and the interest, the competency to do something like that. Because typically, so if you end up hiring someone who really is a whiz on WordPress, but your website is on Squarespace, doesn't matter. They have the ability. If they know how to do WordPress, they can learn Squarespace. And there's no VAs out there that know how to do Kajabi. When you consider the fact that as much as people in the course world know Kajabi, there's really only like 20,000 users. So we're not going to advise you to look for that person. We want the person who has the X factor, like other things. That's your perfect match VA. And that's why this course, is special, because the truth is you could go on to Google right now and Google and where to find a virtual assistant, and you're going to get 100 different websites of places where you can hire freelancers and VAs very inexpensively. And you might hit the jackpot. I'm not saying that you won't, but more often than not, they're working with multiple clients, and that it's just really hard to develop all that you're going to be able to develop so quickly in a span of, not the full week's program. Usually by week 3, a lot of things are already locked in place, and you potentially could already have your VA hired or minimally working in the trial week. So we teach you how to do a trial week, and it's a wonderful thing. So hopefully that answered your question.
And Lynn, it's okay. You could even laugh at me. I won't take it personally. But I want to say something about that too, because I can tell you, as someone that was a hiring manager for many, many years, it's a huge, huge mistake that people make hiring for a software, a social media platform. Understand those things go away. If you hire for that skill set, one, you're going to pay more, and that's not a growth team member. It never is. And I used to watch people I mentored in the banking world. I used to have to teach them this over and over and over again. You have to hire based on someone's growth potential, not based on a software they know or template they know, because those things can be learned. But the inherent skill to learn them and feel excited about learning them is what you want to hire for. And Jen teaches you how to ferret that out during the interview process.
Thank you so much. And Lynn has a couple other good questions. One is, so what about like a graphic artist? So yes, we do teach you how to hire for specialties. So in this case, you're still looking for that X factor, but yeah, someone who has innate like artistic skills and is trained as a graphic designer, and you want to look for that person. I also have a really good example for you of that, because we did that as well, and I share this in the course. But we wanted to have our own in-house graphic designer, because most of us are doing so much in Canva. We're spending a lot of time in Canva creating all these, social media posts and blog graphics and PDFs and that sort of thing. So we thought, let's see if we can actually have 20 hours a week for a graphic designer. The only thing that's different in the process, as you'll learn in the program, is there's a test task phase that they go through, and that's and then a little bit in the job posting, and that's really the only thing that changes, whatever the specialty. So we show you how to craft that language and what to look for. And then this is where the test task is, the trial week comes in really handy. So for those of you who have already heard this story, for the 40th time, I apologize. I'll get through it quickly, but it is that we were hiring this graphic designer position, and we ended up with 2 people that we really liked a lot after the interviews. So we offered them each a trial week, but they don't know that they're both in this trial week, and you're giving similar work and you have it all lined up in advance. So similar work to the people, step 1, step 2, step 3, and they work through the different tasks that you're giving them. And the thing was, on the interview, there was one who interviewed horribly. She was the most painfully introverted person I have ever met. She was looking down the whole time, and she would whisper, and I would ask her things, and I just got yes, no answers. Yes. No. I mean, that was it. And I was like, but the work she had submitted in her test task was off the charts. Good, like really good. The other person was Miss Personality, so charming. We were laughing. We had such a good rapport. It's like, awesome. But who do I pick? They both had good work. I would say the introvert had a little bit better work, but they were, but one was extremely more like I was way more connected with. Went into the trial week. Oh my gosh. And this is where really the cream rises to the top. Like your perfect VA just completely jumps off the page. You see it very quickly because the one who was so charming, it took her the entire 5 days to complete task number 1. And the whole way through the trial week, she kept messaging me with questions that she really should have been able to answer herself or find out for herself. So it was very frustrating. And that's not the kind of VA that I want to work with. The introverted person was done with the first task on the first day, not even by the end of the day, and was like, okay, what's next? And so we moved her through, and she completed at least 5 times the amount of work. And it was so good. So we were so fortunate. We had her for a year and a half, and she had to move away, but she was amazing. And what happened was, it's like what Patty said with the thinking big. Could we keep someone busy in-house for 20 hours a week? Oh yeah. I've got slides I should have had ready to show you because I talk about this in one of my webinars, and I show what she created in short order, because now every time I got on a live stream, every time I did a podcast, every time I did anything, I could have a freebie, an opt-in, a checklist, and they were gorgeous. You could create things because think about it, like, an ebook, a slide deck, like all those things. All I have to do is I could dictate them using Google Voice, which is one of my favorite things to do. And just my ideas are coming out of my head onto a page. Bam, I tag her on that and it goes into production. And I say at the top, worksheet, slide deck, or worksheet, slide deck, and social media post, whatever. She knows what that means. And then it goes into our system and those things get churned out and I'm on to the next big idea. So it was amazing. So that kind of took me off on a tangent, but I wanted to share. And as far as your VA only working for you, ideally. So this is where it depends on how much you can commit to in the beginning. So if you can offer someone guaranteed 40 hours a week, and you can stipulate and say, I will offer you 40 hours a week guaranteed. And by the way, for those of you just joining us, we're talking about leveraging the Philippine exchange rate. So this is you're starting off at a very low rate of like $5 an hour. And starting off there. Okay. And so if you can guarantee 40 hours a week, then, and you can stipulate, but this means I really want to be exclusive. I want you to be, we're going steady, I'm your main person and nobody else. You can do that. And that really is what you want, because again, we're trying to find a virtual assistant for you who is going to be your partner and grow with your business and share your vision and feel really like a sense of ownership in your business. And we show you how to do that, like creative ways, so that your VA truly feels like a part of a team, not just that you send them an Amazon gift card or whatever here and there, but that they truly feel like a meaningful contributor to the growth of this business, that they have a sense of proprietorship. Is that they feel proprietary about your business. That's what we're going for. So, but when you get down and you're like 20 hours a week, well, they have to have full-time income. So it wouldn't be fair for anything less than 40 hours a week to ask them to be exclusive to you. You got to put a ring on it. So, all right. And if anybody has questions at all, I have enjoyed this so much. You know, I didn't know what this was going to look like when I did it. I mean, it's not that I've never offered the opportunity for people to call me, but I don't think I've sort of been this loud about it. Like I've been just telling everybody everywhere, like call me. And I've just had, it's really been fun. I have had, I've met some great people from all over the country and the world who've called with some questions, which also is so helpful to me because based on the questions that you guys are asking me, then I can come out here on a final day of the cart being open and say, hey, I didn't even think about so many people had this question. And then I can address it here for everybody. So thank you for that. All right, Patty, you've been so generous to spend this time with me. I know that you have a lot going on. So anything I've left out that you think I should mention?
I'm being quieter than usual because this stupid internet connection. I'm so sorry, everyone. I don't know what's going on there. But the one thing I will say also, just to answer Lynn's question, I'm going to let you answer Lynn's question. But the other thing that having someone that's really in your business that's, dedicated to you is they can hold you accountable. And I know that it seems like you need to be in charge of everything, but you can ask your virtual assistant to, you can go over the plan and then tell them to stay on top of you, to get you to deliver what you need to deliver for them to move things along through your process. That's a reasonable request. And if that's what you need, Jen can also show you how to hire accordingly so that someone's got that in them to be that person.
Yes. Thank you. And it's really not, I mean, when you say, is it unreasonable to ask her to do everything? I mean, I guess I am shocked and awed every day by what Nika and my team showed me, like their talents, hidden talents I never knew they had. And I'm like, what were you? Why were you keeping that? Like, where was that? Wow. I mean, oh my gosh, I didn't know you could juggle, not really juggle, but it's just so Nika's doing so many more things that she probably never thought she would be doing. And that I never thought she would be doing, like creating content. But it's been almost 5 years and she does it so well. Like she can create her own tutorial videos and edit them. And they're really great. Because what I would have said to you just a few years ago is, well, it would be unreasonable to ask your VA to step in for you and do the thing, to create content. But as it turns out, actually Nika can do that. But I would say generally speaking, like whatever it is you do, if you're a health coach, obviously, okay, like your VA is not going to step in on your behalf and be the health coach, but they could be health coach support. They can help support you and support your clients in their journey. And Nika does that with the members of our group coaching program. They absolutely turn to her for a lot of things. But it's a process. It's not like on day one, you wouldn't want to overwhelm them anyway. Like, welcome, you're going to do everything. But in the back of your head, you can have an idea that like, all right, I want them to be a general virtual assistant who is proficient in 90% of these things. Nobody's going to be able to do everything. For example, we have a virtual assistant who is amazing. Really, anything we've ever given to her, she is a rock star. But she just said right off the bat, like, I'm not good at graphics. Great, you don't have to be good at graphics. That's fine. We're not all good at everything. So and if she was my only virtual assistant, then I would probably then hire a part-time graphic artist, like 20 hours a week, which I might do anyway, actually, even though Nika's really good at graphics. We're going to probably do that next. I'm ready to do that again. So, okay. All right, Patty, thank you so much. And I know you're running through the program again. People are now starting to pile into the private forum. So Lynn, there is a Facebook group that goes with this course, but it is certainly, that's not where the content lives. The content lives in the Kajabi platform, and our calls happen in Zoom. But we do have a Facebook group that that stays open for the duration of the program. So people are going in there now and they're posting their live streams and they're getting to know each other, and it's so exciting. So the cart closes today. I'm going to put the link in the chat for you to join. And you know, it never fails. And I know you can attest to this, Patty, in your own program, and really any course creator out there, is that you send all the emails on cart close day and you do all the live streams and you do everything. And you think, you know, you feel like there's no way no one did not see you and hear you. But then the day after the cart closes, you get all these people and they're like, what? I missed it. How did I miss it? But the thing is, when it closes, it really does close, because this is a live program. And so when the doors close, like Wednesday, we begin, right? We have our first board meeting. The, you know, module 1 is ready to go. People are already starting to consume that content and get to work. So what I'm saying is, cart closes at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if you don't come in by then you have to wait until February or March. So don't say I didn't warn you. And Kat is going through the program again. So excited to have you in for round 2. Well, yeah, round 2 for you. So that's great. And then one last question from Lynn. I guess it becomes clear what is and isn't going to work. I have an e-commerce store. So I meant back office and social media graphics. Yes. So wow, for e-commerce, I don't know how anybody gets by without a virtual assistant, because you have so many like SKU numbers and tags and so much of that stuff that every time you take a picture of a product and you have to list a product, and then, you know, you got to SEO it and like all that kind of stuff. So like, yes, I feel relief on your behalf for all the difference that's going to make for you in the back end of your e-commerce business. So, okay. We've gone long enough. I've taken up enough of your time, Patty. Thank you so much. And everybody, I'll be back on and off throughout the day answering questions. Feel free to call me, text me if you have any questions at all. And the last thing I want to say is, although I have never, in all 3 times of running this program, no one has asked for a refund. You can ask for a refund, right? You have 30 days. If you come in and you're just like, this is not for me, then no questions asked. You don't have to show me that you did the work or any of that. You have, especially because, you know, I might be completely new in your world and you just don't know me that well. So I want you to have that comfort as you come in as well, that peace of mind. Okay. Patty, thank you so much. Everybody, thank you. And I'll see you later. Bye.